Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, but football is back and we play Liverpool on the opening day of the whole Premier League season. Probably not the most ideal one, us being away from them. You're obviously the Prem holders. You've had a massive transfer window already, but you didn't win the Community Shield commiserations. So, anything can happen. I'm joined by Lewis. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, man. I'm excited. It's like Christmas Eve over here. I'm really buzzing to be back in the Premier, not back in the Premier League, but just it. As much as you think when the football's done, a couple months it'll fly by. Oh my god, it went on forever. So I'm just happy that we're back. There's a title to defend. Feeling good. Looking forward to it, man.
Very quickly, do you predict that you will retain the title?
Yeah. I think if I said anything otherwise, I'd be lying to myself. So I said it on Zach's channel. I've got to back it up here. So yes, I do think number one, first place is where we're going to end this season.
Nice one. Well, yeah, quickly, before we get into things, guys, if you can just subscribe down below, that would really help me out. And make sure I'll put all Lewis's links in the description as well. Your YouTube, is there anything else you wanted to shout out?
No, it's just primarily YouTube, to be honest. I'm still trying to get my head around TikTok. I'm an old man. Tin cans and string are still how I communicate with people. So yeah, YouTube's fine for now, though, but I do appreciate it.
Cool. Well, yeah, make sure you guys go and check them out. But let's get into it. And we'll start with the positives for Bournemouth, because maybe they're a little bit harder to find, but they are there somewhere. And you say mainly the big struggle against Palace was sort of that attacking depth, attacking options. How did that go?
Well, the big issue we've got is through the middle. Obviously, we're getting linked with Isak. That's not happened yet. At the time, we've got two out-and-out number nines, so to speak. We've got Hugo Ekitike, brilliant, looked great against Palace. Beyond him, you've got Jayden Danns, young lad, didn't look very good in pre-season, didn't even get a minute in the Community Shield. And we lack a real option there when Ekitike comes off the pitch. And Arnslot said himself after that match, I didn't want to play him for the full 90 minutes because I didn't want to risk injury. So is he realistically going to play 90 minutes against Bournemouth? Is he going to play 90 minutes the next game against Newcastle for the whole season? Probably not. When he comes off, we lacked there was no outlet up top for us. Salah got marked out the game. He was pushed incredibly out wide, and we just didn't have any central threat going forward. As nice as it is having Cody Gakpo on the left-hand side, he was pretty stagnant for most of the match, gave the ball away a lot. So it's all well and good having this brilliant starting 11 with world beaters and some of the best the Premier League's seen in the likes of Salah. But beyond that, we've got a Federico Chiesa on the bench who barely played last season. I don't suspect he'll be here this season, really. Harvey Elliott, same thing for him this season. Probably not going to be here. Jayden Danns inexperienced. Rio Ngamoa's inexperienced, as quality as he is at the moment. So as the match drags on, I am a little bit worried that if we do need to take Ekitike off, we are going to lose a lot of attacking impetus, even with Mo Salah on that right-hand side, putting out the numbers he did last season.
That is interesting. And to be fair, with us last season, it's always been like the last maybe 30, 20 minutes of the game where we really push on. Like we've always come back from being a goal or two down. And with our press, especially against like sort of more tired legs, that can really come in. So to hear that you might be struggling towards the back end of the match could potentially suit us. But if you're already like 3-0 up by then it's a bit pointless, isn't it? And
yeah. I mean, the only issue we've got is even when we're dominating, I'll say the only issue, one big issue we've got is that even when we are dominating matches, when we've got the most possession and we look to be cruising, we tend to slip up a bit. We did it in the community. We literally did it in the Community Shield. We were cruising after that first goal from Ekitike, gave away the penalty, got the second goal back, cruising again, struggled again until Sarr scored. And it is something that Slot's pointed out. We do concede too many opportunities. We do concede too many goals. And if you go back to the start of last season, we kept 3 clean sheets in a row against Ipswich, Brentford, and United. From then on, it just seemed to dissipate. We'd won the league, we know that, but we struggled against Leicester, scraped that. Struggled against West Ham, conceded in that game. Struggled against Southampton, conceded in that game. Got beat by Fulham, conceded 3. Didn't keep a clean sheet in the last 4 or 5 matches of the league, which we'd won the league at that point, but it's still important to do. And it is a concern that despite the fact that we've got some of the best defenders in the division, one of the best centre-backs, if not the best centre-back in Premier League history, arguably in Van Dijk, be ahead of Alisson, one of the best keepers ever. We're still conceding a lot of opportunities and a lot of daft goals. And I think against the Bournemouth team, who boast the attacking threat that you've got, we can't be doing that. This isn't a Bournemouth team that's like the likes of Joshua King and Andre Gray and all that. This is Semenyo. You've got Cliver, Tavernier, Ivan Nielsen. Like, there's real attacking quality. And if we continue to do what we're doing, we could struggle at the end in this match.
Okay, yeah. I mean, to be fair, last season, a lot of our concerns were around like finishing. Like, we would get a lot of chances, but often wouldn't put them away. So maybe that comes up against you. But we've definitely got that ability to force mistakes, especially into the end of matches. And we always just get that momentum like in the last 20 minutes. So if we can punish you of that, that'll be massive. But I could see us having a very inspiring last period of the game, but not actually putting it to bed and getting a result. You also mentioned in the midfield, perhaps you don't have the legs that you did last season.
Yeah, so I think it's down to fitness. We're better in midfield than we were last season now. We've got Florian Wirtz, and we've not lost anyone of substantial quality, so to speak. I know Elliott may be on the way out. It is what it is, but we've still got Szoboszlai, still got McAllister, still got Gravenberch throughout the whole season. The worry for this match is Gravenberch's banned because of that stupid tackle against Crystal Palace. Not sure what the plan was there. And McAllister isn't back up to fitness. He came off the bench in the Community Shield, really, really struggled, couldn't get to the intensity of the game. He got burnt out so much last season. He's had 2 months off through injury. He's probably not going to start. And then in that instance, we're going to start with Jones, Szoboszlai, and Wirtz. Probably Jones didn't look great in the Community Shield. Neither did Szoboszlai. So, you know, it's not all doom and gloom. We've had a brilliant window and we're going to have a brilliant season, but there is a concern of who is that deep line midfielder? Who is the pivot? Jones, as good as he is on the ball at points, can hold on to it a bit too long. His passing's a bit wayward. Szoboszlai, I think he's better when he's a little bit further forward. And then you've got Wirtz, who speaks for himself, but there's no real... When Gravenberch isn't there, we lack an outlet in midfield. As soon as he gets the ball, he turns and we go. We don't have that. And against the Bournemouth team, who are quick on transition, who are going to be lightning pace going forward, we need that midfield outlet who can get things going the other way. And we don't have that in the form of McAllister or Gravenberch. If we do start McAllister, he'll come off anyway. And that's towards the back end of the game where things could fade. So I am a little bit worried about that. Not overly so to the point where I'm crying out. Like, we've got depth, but Gravenberch was so crucial to our title win last season that not having him for this first game against Bournemouth, a little bit of a worry there for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'll touch on it in a bit, but we're also suffering from our midfielders last season potentially not being ready for the first game. But the midfield has always been, having our 2 holding midfielders have always been like a really point of strength for us. I think Tyler Adams will be fit, which is good. And I trust that no matter that our players going out, whoever's coming in is going to sort of fit in, because I feel like Areola will have drilled his system into whoever's ready to come in and just the team in general. Whereas I feel like for a team like Liverpool, you've got those 2 like amazing starters, but perhaps whoever comes in is not entirely ready. And I think you're right there in transition. Hopefully we can catch you, because that's where we've been strong before. But I think we're both suffering here from not having all the players ready for the start of the season, because I don't think Cliver is meant to be ready as well, who I would have said is sort of perfect for exploiting this problem you have with not having Gravenberch and McAllister. But I'm pretty sure he won't be ready for the start, so that might be an issue as well. And then I just wanted to touch on Truffert and Brooks, who in pre-season I just thought were really impressive. Obviously, Truffert's coming in for Kirkes, who will be playing for the opposition team this Friday, but I was really impressed by him on his own. And then Brooks didn't often start in pre-season, but he'd come off the bench in these cameos, and as he always does, he's just really impressive. Like, he's a great player to come on at the end of the game. But I'm hoping maybe with Dango Ouattara being linked with a move to Brentford, David Brooks could be the starter on that left wing. And these 2 linking up on the left-hand side just looked so dangerous. With Brooks sort of inverting slightly and Truffert doing the overlap,
Yeah.
it looks really impressive. And I mean, this might sound naive, but Frimpong is an attacking fullback, isn't he?
Yeah.
Hopefully we can exploit that. It sounds naive to just say, oh yeah, he's really good attacking and therefore we're going to blitz past him. That's not going to happen. But potentially that could be an area to exploit. I don't know what you've seen from the right-hand side of your defence in pre-season.
Well, you're not wrong about the attacking aspect. Oh my God. Like Frimpong has been, it's like Trent, if he down 10 Red Bulls, he's just full of energy. And he's actually been one of our best attacking players in pre-season. Obviously got that goal in the Community Shield. Cross or not, it was a cross, let's be honest here. But he's still been contributing. He was great against Bilbao. He was great against Yokohama. He's full of attacking energy. He likes to go in the overlap, but he can invert. But like you said, it is a worry about your left-hand side. Truffert last season was in the top 15% of League One fullbacks for crosses into the box. One of the most creative fullbacks in that division, which is a worry for us. Brooks as well, fantastic player. So having Frimpong push up as high as he does, yes, he's got the recovery pace to get back and defend, but given how fast you are in those attacking transitions, especially down the left-hand side with the likes of Semenyo dotted around there as well, and Brooks and Truffert, is he going to be able to match that intensity? Is he going to be able to get back into that position? I'm not too convinced. So there is a worry for me as the game drags on. We leave a little bit more space. Frimpong bombs forward. We've got no midfielder who's able to cover that gap like we used to with Wijnaldum. There is space to exploit. And I think that's where Bournemouth are going to get the most joy, much in the same way that Crystal Palace did in the first half against us. All their counter-attacks seemed to be down the left-hand side because Canate couldn't cover the space, or Frimpong. So, yeah, it is something we need to watch, and we can't overextend ourselves, especially not against Bournemouth, who, yeah, we got both wins last season, but you gave us headaches at moments. And even in that first game at Anfield, the 3-0, you scored in the first few minutes, and I think that sort of said to Slot, right, we can't take these lightly. We've got to really shape up a little bit. And we went a little bit deeper as the game progressed because we saw what you could do on the counter. So more of that on Friday or tomorrow even would be brilliant to see. Just don't leave too many gaps for your fullback to exploit.
Okay, that's promising to me. Although the right, our right fullback perhaps not, because I don't know if it's going to be Smith or Araujo. But yeah, okay, I feel like a lot of those attacks, at least from the start, are going to be coming down our left-hand side. But let's move on to Liverpool, because, I mean, your favourites, aren't you? As I say, you've won the league, you've strengthened well. Yeah, you didn't win the Community Shield, but you started that game quickly. Where should we... Let's start with the midfield. And I'll just quickly preface what you're about to say with Cook was going to be suspended anyway, but he has done his MCL, which doesn't sound great, but the way that they said it in the statement didn't seem like he was going to be out for months and months. But he won't be here for the start of the season. Ryan Christie returned to training this week after undergoing surgery last season. Iraola's not sure if he's going to be ready for Friday. So probably, obviously, our two best midfielders, but they were really key to us last season, particularly Christie. I just felt we struggled so much about him. But Tyler Adams is going to be there, as I say, who I trust in. And then I don't know if it's going to be Alex Scott, Hamid Traore maybe next to him. But all in all, our holding midfielders are not going to be as strong as they were last season as a duo. Talk to me about Florian Wirtz, basically.
Oh, my God. What a player he's been in this pre-season. And I think a lot of people look at him and think there's this elegant on-the-ball midfielder, 16 goals, 14 assists, Bundesliga MVP for 2 years in a row. He's a brilliant player. He speaks for himself. But it's his pressing, it's his off-the-ball work that isn't going noticed as much as his on-the-ball work. He can pass the ball like no one's business, but his energy and tenacity to get into a tackle, to track back and defend, but he's the first player to get forward and attack in transitions. He's a very, very versatile player. And I think last season, our most energetic midfielder was Szoboszlai. He came off the bench against Arsenal in one match and was just a breath of fresh air. Wirtz makes him look average in this metric, I'm going to be honest. he's offering us a different dimension to attack. Whereas last campaign, we lacked goals from midfield. Slot said so himself. Wirtz finds himself starting the transitions, but then finds himself on the edge of the box, ready to score. He almost scored a header against Bilbao. He did score against Yokohama. Community Shield, he had a couple of good chances. Missed one, which he really should have scored. I think he's going to add that extra dimension to our attack. And like I said, if you're missing a few players in your midfield, yeah, Ty Adams is back, which is brilliant. He may be stuck on, like, you just stay with Ertz. You don't let him have space because that's where he hurts teams. I'm just excited to see what he can do because Ekitike going through the middle, he's a bit of a deeper attacker, almost like a false nine. Him and Wirtz have a nice interchange where sometimes Ekitike will stay back, Wirtz will bomb on, or vice versa. So that's how I think we can exploit Bournemouth's weakened backline, so to speak. There's a lot of space to work with. It's not the likes of Huijsen, Zabani in the middle. It's going to be a makeshift. Is Senesi fit? Is he back in the team?
So I've just changed the banner there to Ekitike because I feel like you're moving on to sort of your second point.
Sorry.
Yeah. So Senesi will be starting. In pre-season, a lot of people were criticising him, particularly on the ball, which is weird because he was the OG, right? Yeah. Pinging it long with his left foot. Howson came in, did basically the same thing, but now people are. He weren't great in pre-season, I'll be real, but I trusted him to get back to his best at some point. Hopefully that comes with the start of the season, and then the other centre back, we have signed this Diakate guy, but I'm not sure if he'll be straight into the team. If he is, I'll be feeling not confident, but I'll be feeling a lot more secure. If it's not him, I think it'll be like James Hill, who's like he's not a youngster anymore, but he's just always been around. And I like James Hill, but against
that's what I mean. Are they the type of players who'd struggle against like a physical presence like Ekitike, or are they built for that type of attacker?
I think, to be fair, I'd say James Hill is, as a player, more built for that, but James Hill is not an experienced Premier League centre-back. And then Senesi's more of a your sort of Rolls-Royce kind of player. Perhaps not. But I think Diakate, he's been praised for being very physical, but like you don't expect to see it. And also very aerially dominant, which I'm not sure how big a problem that will be with your team, but yeah, I'm not too sure.
I mean, it is interesting. First, like you touched on Senesi then. By the way, I love Senesi's chant so much. I think that song is incredible. I love hearing that. Like you're saying about him not being too good on the ball, I'm not like last season, he's in the top 15% for passes into the final third, 2% for crosses into the penalty area, 1% for passes into the penalty area, 13% for progressive passes. Like he's very good on the ball, Senesi. The only issue I've got is there's no one, the rest of the back line's so changed. Are the others around him going to be comfortable playing that style? Or is it going to be a sort of, we're going to have to hit it long and see if someone can make something happen, so to speak? And if Ekitike continues to press the way he did against Palace and in pre-season, and Wirtz does the same, there may be an argument that that your back line may struggle to handle that pressure. I don't know, but I think if you've got like a monster like Ekitike who's 6'5" running at you, there's a lot of worries to be had. And Diakate last season, so I've got like league and stats for him. In the air last campaign, he won 72.6% of his aerials, which is in the top 9% for the league and division. So Ekitike has got a challenge on his hands there. I don't want to get drawn into a physical confrontation because we will lose that pretty much all the time, especially in corners. So the best thing we can do, keep it on the ground. Wirtz and Ekitike using that space in behind. Ekitike tends to come deep. He can draw defenders to him. Wirtz can exploit that space. You've got Frimpong who can go inverted. So there's a lot of attacking threat from us, and Ekitike is going to be a big, big part of that in the manner of which he conducts himself. Will he play that false nine role similar to what he did against Bilbao in pre-season? Or is he going to be a stand next to Diakate, physically bully him out the game possibly, and create space for Wirtz to run into? I'm not sure, but I'm very confident in Slot and the way we've approached things so far that we will have an answer to that.
Yeah. There's a bit of a worry there about our centre-backs just being exploited, even if it is Diakate, if he's not fully gelled in yet. And I think you're right about us potentially resorting to hoofing it long, because I remember when we played you, I think it was in the EFL Cup. Obviously, it's a while ago now, but we just kept like clearing it out, and it just, or not clearing it out, but trying to get it long to someone, and it just went straight on Van Dijk's head every time.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's
Was that
stupid.
the Nunez one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, the thing is though, it might sound daft. It could work. Like, how tall is Ivan Nielsen? Like your main central attacker? How tall is he, or is he quite
I
fairly
think
short?
he's not too, because people always think he's short. He's like 6'6'1". Like, it's not. He's not.
Okay.
He's not. He's not massive.
So last season, even this season, Van Dijk struggles against a physical presence up top. When we played Everton, Beto, I've never seen a player bully Van Dijk more than Beto did that day. Struggled against Mateta. And I think if you're playing those long balls and you've got plenty of attacking players who can get onto the end of them, you can cause headaches for us because we've got so many fullbacks pushing forward.
Yeah,
it's essentially Konate and Van Dijk on their own. If you've got 3 players up top ready to get that ball and Ivan Nielsen who can physically compete with them, there's a viable option there for you. Going long sometimes works, and if you can make it effective, there's no reason it couldn't work against us.
Yeah, and that sounds very us. Just put like loads long ball, like loads of pressure on the back line. Maybe that can work. And then very quickly, we'll just finish off with the man himself, Salah. I mean, that's always an answer, isn't it? Especially against us.
I mean, I've ran out of superlative for like how to explain Salah. I feel like he's to Bournemouth what Suarez was to Norwich. It feels like he always scores against Bournemouth or has some kind of impact. Got the hat trick in 2018, something like that. I vaguely remember that game. Begovic in goal. That was 2018, I believe. He got 2 last season. He does have the occasional clanger, like the missed penalty 2 years ago. That happened. But as a player, my God, he can have a bad game, like an awful game, a 2 out of 10, and he can still contribute to goals. It didn't go that way in the Community Shield. Fine, what have you. But I think he's one of these people who, when he gets going, when momentum gets going and the league kickstarts, he's almost impossible to stop. And I truly believe that against Bournemouth, that left-hand side of yours, like you said, Truffert and Brooks, they're going to be going forward. There's going to be a bit of space to exploit. A new back line. Diakate is not fit into things completely yet. Senesi, great on the ball. Is he going to be able to cope with Salah in a defensive sense? That's up for debate. There is a lot of room for Salah to work with, and I just getting to watch him play week in, week out is a privilege. And there's a reason, and it still grinds on me, when we did Zach's show a few weeks ago, and I said Salah ahead of Ronaldo and Hazard. The fact I got as much stick as I did still upsets me. He's masterful. And I'm really hoping he can make something happen and get back to his best against you on Friday. Not the Salah that we saw at the end of last season, where in 9 appearances, he got 2 goals and 1 assist. So we need to get the momentum back for him. And I think this is a perfect game to do it.
Yeah, I'm hoping he doesn't terrorize us, but here's my so if he does, there's a silver lining at least. But yeah, it's going to be a tough game for us, but it's not out of possibility that we come away with a result. What is your score prediction, if you don't mind me asking?
Right, I'm a very passionate fan, but I am a little bit of a pessimist with games.
I'm the exact
and I
same.
think this is going to be a 2-1. I do think you're going to start this off quicker than we will. I think you're going to get out the blocks a bit fast. We're maybe going to struggle to keep up with it, but I do think we'll get some sort of comeback from it. And I think 2-1 is probably the way this will end up, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I can see that. I think I wouldn't predict us to get a result, but I don't think.
Oh, come on. Do it. Come on. Let's say you're going to beat us 3-0.
No, I could see us getting a draw, honestly, but I'm with you. I think we could score, and probably, honestly, I think 2-1's a good shout. Opening game of the season as well. It's always a difficult one, but at your place as well, it'll be difficult. But
yeah,
thank you so much for watching, guys. make sure you subscribe to Lewis, check out all of his stuff, and let's have a good season. Let's push for top half again up the Cherries.